So welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to decorate Freshies. So Freshies are customizable handmade air fresheners that can go in your car or in your closet or anywhere in your home. They are very inexpensive to make. If you have a store that you want to start selling Freshies, I think this is a great idea. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just trimming up the excess from the mold that I've created these Freshies. Just making sure they're nice and clean, just doing it with some scissors. Super easy, super simple. So now I've already created my cardstock decals are going to go on my Freshies. Shout out to Flynn Sisters Boutique. I use a lot of her cardstock decals that she has on her page. I also bought a couple on Etsy as well, especially the Y'all Go Learn Today. I love that one. I sell that one to a lot of teachers. So right now I am just matching up which cardstock decals that I want to use. So of course I've used purple, so I want to have something that's going to match well with purple. I love this one. This is one of my favorites from Flynn Sisters Boutique, where leopard print is a neutral. So right now just matching them up just to make sure they look nice. And so now what I'm doing is I'm taking a screw, because there is a hole at the top. So when I create my Freshies in the cookie mold, I put a nail in there so it melts around the nail, so there's automatically a hole in there. So what I'm doing is I'm laying the Freshie cardstock on top. I'm just poking through the cardstock with the screw just to create a hole. Then from there, I take my hole puncher and punch through that hole. I know sometimes it's kind of hard to articulate what you're trying to say, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I poked the hole with the screw, and then now I'm just using the hole puncher to make the hole nice and clean. So I do that with each one. So I think I'm gonna change it out, because it looks like that one might be a little bit of a better match with the purple. So right here you can see I'm just using the screw to line up the hole in the Freshie with the cardstock, and then punching a hole through the cardstock and lining it up. And one more time, we're lining up the cardstock with the hole on the Freshie, using the nail to line up the hole, and then using our hole punch. Pretty simple here. Now, what I'm doing is I am using a glue gun to just glue on the cardstock directly to the Freshie. At first, when I was doing this, I was melting the Freshie, or laying down the cardstock first at the bottom of my cookie mold, and then pouring my Freshies on top to melt into it. But it became too hard to get an exact lineup to where I wanted to be edged off really nice and neat. So again, I watched my Flynn Sisters tutorial, Flynn Sisters Boutique tutorial, and thought that this was just a better idea, because I can have more control over where the cardstock is going to lay on top of the Freshie if I just use a hot glue gun and glue it on there. And then too, I can line up the holes to be pretty exact as well. So what I'm using here is I'm just using some elastic string that I got from Michaels. And I think I got one batch from Michaels and then one batch from Hobby Lobby. So the one that I just showed you was from Hobby Lobby for $3.29, and it has different colors on there. So I like really dark, deep colors. So I'm just using a blue here. Bringing the string through the hole and then tying a knot at the top. I trim the ends and then use a lighter there to kind of flash on top of there and burn off any of the loose edges. What I'm doing here is I wanted to make it a little more fancy. So for this one, I am using some jewelry that I use for either bracelets or for my beaded pins. And so just using the same idea, lining up the string, putting on my little jewelry here that matches in color, and then just tying a knot at the end of the string, trimming off the edge, and flashing it with my lighter to just burn off any raggedy ends off the end of the elastic string. I think the hardest thing for me to do sometimes is to match up the colors that I want with the cardstock colors. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going through and seeing which one would match the best. It's like, well, maybe the blue. I don't know. So I'm just trying to figure out which colors I feel like would match the best. This one, I had a little trouble because the screw, when it was melting in, kind of leaned over. So what I'm trying to do is use my scissors to kind of dig out that hole to make sure that it was wide enough for me to get my string through there. So I was able to get it through. Then I was able to put my little jewelry on there. This one's going to be nice and girly. And I think this would go so well in a little girl's room. I mean, if you like, girly stuff in your car too, but in a little girl's room in her closet, just to add a little something nice and cute in there for her to enjoy. Oh, while making her room smell so fresh. So actually the scent that I'm working with right here that I absolutely love is fresh linen. Absolutely love that scent. So now I wanted to add something just a little more girly and frilly for this one. So I'm going to use a template that I had for straw toppers. So for a bow straw topper. So I just already cut this all out. I used a template from Etsy for a bow straw topper. I'm going to put it, link it in the description box at the below. And I'm just using my glue gun. It's really simple on how to put the bow together. So I'm just gluing each bow together. So it's a double layered bow here. And then you can see there's additional piece at the back that's going to be the tail of the bow. So I'm just gonna add that to the back with my glue gun here. And guys, I didn't spend very much on a glue gun at Michael's. I may have spent $10 on a glue gun. I don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money on your supplies when you're starting out. Now, eventually, if you want to start spending more money on your supplies, you can. I just didn't feel the need to buy a super expensive glue gun because they all do the same thing. So you'll see that there is an additional piece here where we're just going to glue it on the back, and that's how you would typically glue it on and put it on a straw for a straw topper. But I said, oh, this would be a cute idea to add a little something more frilly and girly and add a little more pop to this one, to this Freshie, if I just glued it on the string for my Freshie. And I think it came out so cute. I absolutely love it. And I'm just using this little spatula because that glue gets so hot and it will burn my fingers. So I'm just using that spatula to kind of put a little pressure there so it'll, the glue will catch. And there we go. Isn't that the cutest? Oh my God, I love it. I just wanted you guys, I was so proud of myself, so I'm just showing it off. So I'm like, look guys, look what I did. So last here, I am just going to package my Freshie. I love using these little bags. I know they say that, you know, they take some of the scent away. I haven't had any issues with that, but I like to label mine. So like I said, this is fresh linen. So I created my own stickers and putting my own label on there. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.